How did I go from a builder's labourer at 16 years old to owning my own bank? Well, there's a story there. Hopefully an inspirational one, but there's a story there. But before we get to the bank, I need to take you right back in time. Now, recently, I was asked to go and close the school that I went to. The school was 86 years old, and they said to me, David, your profile's lifting. It'd be really nice for you to come back and be the last ex-pupil out of the school. We'll take some pictures, we'll stick it in the paper. Now, since my profile's been lifting, I thought, closing a school? Do you know what? When I get really famous, I'll be opening them. But I said, do you know what? I'll close it for you. There ain't too many good memories, but I'll close it. Now, just before I closed it, I ran down the corridor to a certain place in life where life changed for me forever. And I took a picture of that exact part of the corridor. And that part of the corridor remains with me forever, where something happened. My whole life changed. But for you to understand why, I need to tell you the story. So here we go. Right back in time, I was about 10, 11 years old, about this big, 4 foot nothing, nice elf glasses, patch over one eye because I was bog-eyed, plaster over the corner of the glasses because it'd been knocked off so many times, my face. I was hit and punched and bullied on a regular basis, and I mean regular. I was really, really poorly treated. It was terrible. And one year in particular, it actually got worse because I ended up with an ingrowing toenail. There's method in my madness here. My mum took me to the shop of this. They said, Mrs. Fishwick, it's really bad, is this toenail. It's going mouldy. It's really bad and it's terrible. We're going to have to strip it all down, cut it open, put bits in it, and he won't be able to wear shoes. He's going to have to wear sandals. In winter. As if life wasn't bad enough. So there I am, walking down the school corridor, 4 foot tall, national glasses, patch over one eye, corner missing, sandals on. No wonder I was bullied. But one day, it changed. The school bully was walking towards me. A guy called Simon. I've never actually said his name before in a talk, and I've done a lot of these talks all over the world because I love to speak to people. But I've never actually said his name before, but today I thought I'm going to say it. His name was Simon. He walked towards me. I had my satchel over my arm like this, just like any other day, and as he walked towards me to punch me in the face, I dropped my satchel and I clenched my fist and I hit him back. And I hit him back and back and back. And I realised bullies don't like being hit. They don't like you hitting back. I'd been hit so many times when he tried to fight back. I thought, I'm not made of glass. I can do this. I can stick up for myself. And I hit him and I won. And he was the big school bully. I was 12 years old. And from that day on, nobody has ever told me what to do or how to do it, or nobody's ever bullied me since, including the massive regulators, because the regulators themselves try and bully me, and they still do. But I won't have it. I just won't have it. In 2008, we were selling buses, and we were selling a lot of them. And my customers were coming to me, as they've always done, for finance on them buses. David, want that bus? No problem. Want half a dozen of them, Dave? No problem. We'd fill the forms in. We'd send them off to the banks. And the banks would lend the money to the customers. They'd pay the banks back. Marvellous. Well, 2008 come, didn't it? And that all stopped. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what's happened? The banks stopped lending. And I thought, if I believe in these people, why don't I lend them the money? And they can buy the bus still. So that's what I did. I lent them the money. They bought the bus from me. They went and used it for work. They paid me back. I thought, this banking malarkey, it isn't that difficult. But I thought, how can I then take it to the next level? How can I then help other people besides the people with the buses? So I thought, I'd open a small bank. And I'd have a go, a bank for the people. A bank that would give the best rate of interest in the country. It then lend money to people who can't borrow from the high street bank through no fault of their own, small and medium-sized businesses. And the profit, I'd pay the overheads and give the difference to charity. I thought, how hard can it be? So down to London I went. First port of call, a guy called Andrew Hilton, who was the head and chief of the think tank for all bankers UK. First question he asked me, he says, Dave, what do you want to do? I said, I want to open a bank. He said, where are you from? I said, Burnley. That put him off for starters. You've not been to the correct school, you've not got the correct parents, and you haven't got the correct qualifications. And that's exactly what he said. I wanted to punch him. I said, don't you tell me I've not got the correct parents. They've worked hard all their life. What are you trying to say then? They're not bankers, that's why. And he genuinely meant it. And I thought, I need to get out of here before I turn him upside down. Ultimately, my ultimate goal would be to have a community bank run by the community to benefit the community in as many towns and cities as possible. There's just over 1,000 large towns and cities in the UK. And if each one of them had a Bank of Dave or a Bank of Graham, in each one of those, all lending to thousands of people millions of pounds. That's 1 million businesses rescued overnight. Imagine what that could do. And that is the dream. Now, I can't do that by myself, but turbocharged by the government, it can be. And if a man from Burnley who sells buses can do it, then anybody can. It's just having that self-belief. And we are going all the way. And it's like running a marathon, and I can almost taste it. I'm that near to the license. I'm literally months away now. We will have it before Christmas. Come hell or high water, we will have it. And you'll remember what I was saying to you about it. Self-belief is everything. But in life, if you're going to take anything away from me today, back to the offices and things at the Royal Mail and everything you do in life, if you're going to take anything away, do you remember what I said at the beginning? Rule number 3 and rule number 4, which are the most important thing in the whole world. Rule number 3 is never give up. And rule number 4, more important than anything I've said, never, ever give up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.